welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. In recent days, I have talked a little bit about the podcast Unapologetically Angel, the episode where Angel Reese interviewed DiJonai Carrington. Now, I don't typically watch Angel Reese's podcast. I think the only one I ever saw in its entirety was a recent one she did with Lisa Leslie. Other than that, I saw a portion of the one she did with Cheryl Swoops. I think that was the first episode of her show, if I remember correctly. But I watched this particular one with DiJonai because it popped up in my feed. I was watching something else, and after that ended, I think it just went to that one. So I watched it. I found it interesting. It was certainly full of a lot of stuff, and I maybe cover some. I will maybe cover some of the stuff individually in individual videos, perhaps. But in this video, I want to talk about three things that stood out in particular because they were sort of admissions of a sort. And like I said, I might touch on some other things. So I'll make sure I put the link in the video description because you might want to check out the whole thing. It was kind of, well, you can fill in the blank with what you think it is, but I don't know. Check it out. But for this video, three things that were sort of admissions that I think you'll find interesting. The first one is where DiJonai admits to something all of us knew. And that had to do with Nalissa Smith, and it had to do with why a lot of people wanted Nalissa Smith to go, because she couldn't seem to figure out where her loyalties were. A lot of people are uncomfortable because when Nalissa Smith played against the Connecticut Sun and DiJonai Carrington, she seemed to have divided loyalties. Like she couldn't figure out which team was her team. And that was pretty much confirmed in this interview with Angel, because Angel asked about how things went whenever there was some kind of friction, or seemed to be some kind of friction with the Indiana Fever. Let's just take a look at this piece.
That was
She be backing her teammates off you like, not too much on my girl.
come on now.
And I know her teammates.
As she should.
Do you think her teammates was mad about that?
Yes.
For sure.
For sure. Damn. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I wasn't even saying nothing to none of her teammates except like, give me that shit. But that's just like,
Yeah. Give me that shit.
you know,
Yeah.
That's just basketball. It wasn't like I was doing anything that was personal to anybody in that sense. So I think she was right to do what she did.
I think she was right to do what she did. Well, that might be why whatever she does, she'll be doing it over there in Dallas with DiJonai. Let's look back at how Erica Wheeler encountered DiJonai a couple times. We'll start with a block DiJonai managed to get on Erica Wheeler, and then we'll take a little peek at Nalissa in this scenario. This is at WNBA Got Game with the caption, Nalissa Smith stepped in between DiJonai and Erica Wheeler. Take a look.
The corner, back Benlay to give the go, and Carrington the rejection. It last hits Wheeler. It's going to be Connecticut basketball. The Carrington, it was.
You see that? You see what happened there? Let me back this up a little bit. So Nalissa Smith is all the way over here. Sorry that there's this big tweet, I guess, in here. But Nalissa Smith is all the way over here. DiJonai blocks the shot and then commences to kind of like roll up, talk a little bit smack. And Nalissa Smith made a beeline all over there to make sure that Erica Wheeler stayed in her place. Now, mind you, Erica Wheeler was her teammate. But DiJonai Carrington, well, her loyalties were with DiJonai Carrington. So here it is again.
Back Benley to give the go.
Lock, looks down, talking junk. Melissa's like, don't know what to do.
It's going to be Connecticut.
So first of all,
basketball.
again, Melissa Smith looks a little confused. You know, she gets her hand go when she sees that, she kind of puts her hands up here, like and then next thing you know, she's over there at the beeline pushing off on Erica.
It last hits Wheeler. It's going to be Connecticut basketball.
See her right here, got her hand on her teammate, telling her teammate to back off.
The Carrington was
Wow, that's some wild stuff right there. And we also are going to see what happened. Erica Wheeler again, because she was willing to step up for Caitlin Clark. And after DiJonai poked Caitlin in the eye, Erica Wheeler, not long after that, same game, this is what happened. Timeout Sports on X. No sound. Check it out. Here's DiJonai. And Erica flattened her and then pretends she wants to pick her up. So, yeah, this was after DiJonai clawed Caitlin in the eyes and the eye. So here it is. Boom. And she just totally flattens her here. And here comes Melissa. And you're going to see Erica Wheeler is going to basically be like, get out of here. Well, she waves her arm like that. And then Melissa's like, okay. And she walks off. And now we have DiJonai Carrington saying that, yeah, she didn't like it when her teammates had an issue with DiJonai, and DiJonai thinks that Melissa Smith was right to step in there. Obviously, lots of people don't think that's right. And anyway, she's not the Indiana Fever's problem anymore. So let's move on to the second takeaway, the second thing I consider an admission of sorts, and that comes from Angel Reese. Let's look at this, because this is rich, as they say.
Okay. They don't be having the same energy because the thing is, in person they love you. Okay. I've never ever come across a fan in person that was like negative towards me or said like the crazy stuff that they be saying online.
Really?
Ever.
I only did once, but that was in game.
Okay.
So like,
I, first of all, am glad that Angel has never had to deal in person with people saying things or treating her a certain way as people do online, trolls. But I know I recall Angel talking about being followed home and different things like that. So I just find this whole thing kind of weird. And many people have been asking, when they always try to make the Indiana Fever fans seem like a bunch of horrible people, racist, etc., when people have pushed back and said, you know, there are always going to be trolls online. That doesn't mean that the fan base is horrible. Trolls do horrible things and say horrible things, and you guys are trying to denigrate a whole fan base. And now we get Angel Reese saying, never. You see how she said, never has anyone treated me a certain way, said certain things to me in person. It's all been online. So in other words, you guys are totally making a whole fan base look horrible. And you're admitting that this is just people who are showing up in your Twitter feed? I'm glad y'all had this interview, because we didn't know that based on what people have been saying. That's interesting. Now, the third thing I want to point out, the third admission is Angel again. And Angel and DiJonai both played for Kim Mulkey. Kim Mulkey's at LSU now, and Angel played for her at LSU. But Kim Mulkey used to coach at Baylor, and that's where DiJonai went to school, as well as Melissa Smith. This isn't about Melissa Smith, though. Angel talks about the difference between the intensity in college and the intensity in the WNBA. Now, one might think that she would say on this professional level, the intensity and the focus and the work ethic and all of that would be so much more in the WNBA. That's not what she said. And it seems to me that DiJonai is admitting the same thing.
For granted when she was here. She used to get on my ass. Like,
yeah, that's, man. I feel like that's why though we play how we play.
yeah,
Like, run through a wall.
exactly.
Just kind of like relentless.
Yeah.
Like nothing gonna stop us regardless. I think that's her MO, is like,
yeah,
she gonna get the best out of people.
for real. I think that even like in practice, like, it's like go hard every single drill, every single possession. Like, you do that. Like, you go hard all the time. Like, it's no taking breaks off. And I think like coming to the W, I was surprised because other players weren't like that. Like, everybody else in the league, they not doing that. Like, I was like,
I'm telling
vets
you,
be taking off and like just walking in casually in practice. I'm like, yo, if Kim was here, what? She'd be on it.
and only play one side of the ball sometimes.
I'll be like,
she's not going for it.
Hell no.
No.
So interesting to me. The professional league is not as intense as their experience in college, particularly with Kim Mulkey. One would think would be higher. I remember Caitlin Clark being asked this question a couple times. That is, and Eli Manning, I think, just asked her this as well. Again, was it harder going from high school to college or college to the WNBA? And Caitlin Clark said definitely to the WNBA. Seems to me that DiJonai and Angel would answer that question. I don't know about what their high school experience was, but I will say that they just admitted that when they got to the WNBA, it was like, y'all just kind of walk in, y'all kind of going through the motions. We didn't do that in college. And so it's kind of funny to me. This is the professional league, and you've got these players saying it's nothing compared to what we went through in college. Fascinating to me. Anyway, I just want to give you 3 quick takeaways, admissions that I saw in that interview. There's a lot more in the interview, and I might take a couple of those things in separate videos. But if you didn't watch the video, I will put the link in this video's description, as I said. And I'm curious to know what you think about the 3 things that I did bring to you. Also, remember, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And please know that I appreciate every one of you, every person who has subscribed, every member of the channel, all of you, those who hang out on the live streams. We become certainly a community. Appreciate you. I will catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.